Hello everyone, I'm Nicholas Jon.
And I'm Nick Andrew.
And we are live from the Green Dragon. So in this podcast, we are going to dig into Middle-earth and the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. I had this idea to make a Middle-earth-centric podcast because I just love it. And I think that a lot of people who want to get into it or hear that it's a good book, they see the movies and they can't get into the books. What they really need is they need someone to help them understand the deep history without boring them to death. And hopefully that is what we will be able to do in the episodes to come. But today, we're not going to actually look at the books. We are going to barely look at the movies, but we are going to do something extra fun. You want to tell them what we're doing, Nick?
So today we are going to take the Lord of the Rings films, all three of them, and we are going to take the Harry Potter films, and we're going to transpose the Harry Potter cast onto the Lord of the Rings films, essentially recasting the films using only cast members from the Harry Potter series.
Yeah, and the reason that we're doing Harry Potter characters is because I have a group that's the Reread Harry Potter group, and I wanted to transition that into a Lord of the Rings group. And I thought a great way to tie those two together is to take characters from one and kind of just slide them into the next one in this fun way. I mean, we're just doing this for fun. So it'd just be a fun experiment and a good exercise for us to look at these characters in a different way and try to just slot them into these different positions. So that's really the only reason, is because I'm already looking at Harry Potter and I want to be looking at Lord of the Rings next.
Well, not only that, but it's also a perfect opportunity to merge fandoms, which I think is what we're going for.
Oh, yeah. Nick and I took some time to look at the cast on both sides, the Lord of the Rings cast and the Harry Potter cast, and work out our own list. And so now we're going to, for the first time, we're going to share with each other our picks, and we're going to have to talk it out, because I'm pretty sure these lists are going to be very different from each other. And I am so curious as to which direction you went on in some of these cases.
Likewise. There were a couple exchanges earlier today where we were like, ooh, we gotta stop.
We gotta stop talking because we're gonna reveal too much. And I just want the surprise factor for myself because I'm jealous that way. Is that the right word? I don't know. Is that the right word?
You know, my roster is precious to me.
Oh. We're gonna have to have like a ding for every time that kind of happens.
Ding.
Alright, so I suggested that we start working in some of the major characters, but kind of getting through a lot of the minor characters pretty quickly. But some of them are still going to require some explanation as to why we thought they were right for the role.
Yes. Now, speaking of being right for the role, you mentioned it a moment ago. Mm-hmm. For my own sake, and for the sake of all the poor souls listening, did you do yours based on the character or the actor?
I did mine based on the character.
Oh, beans. Okay.
You went by the actors themselves?
Oh, I did. I did actor. Because I believe in all of their acting capabilities. I know they can do whatever I throw at them. So
the difference here is that I cast Harry Potter the character as somebody in Lord of the Rings, and you cast Daniel Radcliffe, the actor, as somebody in Lord of the Rings. Is that right?
Yes, that is right.
All right, so we're going to have two lists going on. We're going to have to figure this out. Let's start. Do we start with some of the big ones? Do we start in the Shire, or do we start in the Land of Men?
I think we start in the Shire.
Okay.
I think we got to start in the Shire.
Okay, let's start in the Shire.
I think we should go Bilbo.
Bilbo. Okay, let's go with Bilbo. So who do you have for Bilbo? We'll do that one first.
All right, so I have for Bilbo, and this really could be character or actor. I have the one and only Michael Gambon as old Bilbo, a.k.a. Dumbledore.
Oh.
New Dumbledore. Second Dumbledore.
Okay, all right. I have, character-wise, and this is partly because I used up all the other characters, I have Professor Horace Slughorn.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. He's a little flighty, I will say that.
He is, yeah. Especially in the movies. The way he's played in the movies, Slughorn is a little bit like, you're not totally sure he's all there.
Yes.
And Bilbo's pretty serious, but at the same time, he's kind of losing it.
Okay.
Should we just go down the Shire and Bree column?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. So who do you have for Barleyman Butterbur?
Barleyman Butterbur, I have Professor Slughorn.
Nice.
Yes.
I love it. No, you don't have Slughorn. Who do you have?
No, I do.
You have the character?
Well, okay. I put both, because you had two columns.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I have Horace Slughorn / Jim Broadbent.
Okay. For Barleyman Butterbur, the innkeeper at the Prancing Pony in Bree, I have Hagrid. Because I could totally picture him, A, talking your ear off, and just having that similar kind of speech. I could just hear him just talking about the little masters. And forgetting that he shouldn't have told him that, or he should have told him that in this case.
See, there, now I picture around here, there's no Strider. Shouldn't have told you that.
Shouldn't have told you that.
Shouldn't have told you that. I ain't seen him for 6 months. I shouldn't have told you that.
That's what I'm talking about. I could totally see Hagrid filling into that position.
Okay.
Who do you have for Rosie Cotton?
With Rosie Cotton, I have the very lovable Nymphadora Tonks. Oh, I should not have called her Nymphadora.
Don't call her Nymphadora. You know better. So Tonks for Cotton, Rosie Cotton. I have a question for you because I don't have one person, so I need you to help me pick here.
Okay, I have 2 of those, so
okay,
I'll get payback.
All right, I have 2 people that I haven't used any other places, so it doesn't matter who gets picked, for the rest of my list. But I have Cho Chang and Madame Rosmerta. Now, in my mind, Madame Rosmerta makes more sense because she's already
Hobbit-like.
Well, and a pub proprietor, but Cho kind of fits the bill for a pretty young lady.
Sure. Oh, is it terrible that I don't remember what Madame Rosmerta looks like?
Well, I was going more on character than looks.
I did go based on aesthetics for a lot of characters. Hopefully, it'll make sense later.
Yeah, I'm thinking that at this point we now have to make a graphic explaining ourselves.
Right.
We'll put your cast and my cast on the heads of the actual cast.
Because like I told you, I even went and made families look similar.
Yeah,
crazy.
At that point I was like, oh man, what's going on? So this was fun.
What beast have you created?
So help me out, Cho or Rosmerta?
I would have to go with Madame Rosmerta.
Okay. I am A-okay with that. The next one on our list is Gaffer Gamgee. This is Sam's dad.
Yes.
And I had to look it up at one point. Gaffer is just one of those words that people use for an old man.
Right.
He's one of the old guys around. He's like the grandpa who's into everything and everyone's business. So
right.
So Gaffer Gamgee. I'm going to go first on this one. I have Arthur Weasley.
Me too!
You do? We
yes,
got one!
Yes!
All right.
Same exact guy. Oh yes.
I didn't have Arthur all the time. I had a couple people in there because he's kind of a rules guy. But more to that, I picked Arthur because it's not so much rules as it is platitudes. He keeps reminding Harry to don't go looking for trouble. Keep your nose out of other people's business, and that's exactly the kind of thing that Gaffer Gamgee says to Sam.
Yes.
I'm glad we got at least one.
Well, from completely different spectrums.
Yes. Yeah, why did you pick Arthur?
I picked Arthur because I think he fits, again, aesthetically, the actor, Mark Williams. Mm-hmm. He kind of has the same vibe that you were talking about before. He's Gaffer Gamgee. Old Man Gamgee is essentially what they're calling him.
Yep.
And he's a source of wisdom, and he's an ever-present patron of our very own Green Dragon.
Yeah.
So I figure Arthur Weasley, let's do it. Let's go with it. Now, I will say Arthur Weasley was originally my Barlaman Butterbur.
Oh, okay.
And I moved him because I thought that Slughorn was a better Butterbur. Better Butterbur.
Better Butterbur.
Oh, dear.
Broadbent Butterbur.
Oh.
Barleyman Broadbent Butterbur.
I just can't even. Okay, so we got the cat. So next would be the gatekeeper.
Yeah, I like this one. This is the guy who interrogates the hobbits when they get to Bree, and later on he gets squashed by the door.
Yes. When
the Black Riders come in. He's such a minor character, but he's so memorable. Who do you have for this one? Who do you have for the Bree gatekeeper?
So keep in mind, this is one that I cast the character.
Okay.
Not the actor. Mm-hmm. Wow, I really was all over the place. But they poke around in other people's business. And to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't mind seeing Rita Skeeter squashed by a door.
Oh, is that who you picked?
It is who I picked. Yes.
Okay. All right. Rita Skeeter. Oh, man. Just because you want to see her squashed, is that what it is?
That, and I think as far as poking around in other people's business, that is totally her thing.
Okay. All right. I get that. I went with Argus Filch on this one. This one is partly aesthetics.
Okay.
They kind of look the same. They're both old grumpy guys. And I just think that Filch just kind of is that way.
Yes.
But I like your reason better.
Oh, yes.
All right, Farmer Maggot.
Yes.
We're working our way down through this one.
Do you want to go first, or should I?
Sure, I'll go on this one. This was a little bit out of the box, but I'm so curious to see what you're going to say.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Scared.
So, Farmer Maggot, I have Molly Weasley.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's no nonsense. She will help you if you're a friend. She will chase you off if you're a foe. You don't mess with her. When she's angry, her sons scatter, and so do the hobbits when they get on the bad side of Farmer Maggot.
Fair enough.
What do you got? I'm curious.
My Farmer Maggot is Argus Filch. Now, for those of you who also are Game of Thrones fans, the HBO series, David Bradley, the actor who plays Argus Filch, also plays Walder Frey. David Bradley played it beautifully, and I just think him chasing them down with a hoe or a pitchfork or a shovel, like that is totally Argus Filch and David Bradley.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm happy with that. That's good. Very different perspectives on Farmer Maggot, but that's the way this whole thing is going to go. We're going to have different perspectives, but there's no wrong answer. Well, there might be wrong answers, but the right answers are going to be a lot in the gray area. All right, did you cast anyone for Everard Proudfoot?
Oh, of course I did.
Who do you have?
I have Marge Dursley.
Oh, man. Classic. That's good. I like that. I have Cornelius Fudge. I do.
Why?
I don't know. He's round guy. I didn't have him anywhere else. I thought that was kind of a fun place to put Fudge. Not as good. Why did you pick Marge?
Oh, okay. So we all know her from the infamous scene where Bilbo is calling out all the different family names and the Bagginses and the Boffins and Took's Brandy books, and he gets to Proudfoots, and we see Everard Proudfoot, foot propped up, just beller at him, "Proud feet." And I can you not picture Mars Dursley?
Oh yeah, with a brandy in hand.
Proud feet. Yes. But I just picture that scene then playing out where she doesn't stop talking, and then it just cuts back to Bilbo, and he keeps talking. She's back there still yelling about proud feet.
Oh, yeah, good stuff. That'd be funny.
I think these two should be paired together for the next ones, by the way, but go ahead.
The next two together?
Yes, the Sackville
Okay.
Bagginses.
All right, so Otho Sackville, are they both Sackville Bagginses, or is just Lobelia?
It's Lobelia and Otho Sackville Baggins.
Okay, so who do you have here?
I have Vernon and Petunia Dursley.
Okay, we're half in line here.
Okay.
Now, who are these characters?
These are the characters that they've been waiting for Bilbo to die, to leave, essentially. At the very end of the Hobbit story, we find out that Lobelia has stolen his spoons. And it's in the end of the third Hobbit film when Bilbo returns. It's in the end of the story for the books. And Belia Sackville Baggins is just after Bag End. Ooh, Bilbo stands in her way. And then him taking in Frodo pushes her even further back. So there's a moment in the films where Bilbo's ear starts twitching when the Sackville Bagginses are nearby, and he has a little heart-to-heart with Frodo in the tent. I think it's the extended version. But they're kind of sleazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So here I have Vernon also for Otho, and this might feel like I burned a good character early, but I put Umbridge down for Lobelia. She's just that unwelcome. Like Petunia, she's pretty rotten too. You don't really want her coming around unexpectedly, but Umbridge is never welcome, and I feel like that's how Frodo and Bilbo both feel that Lobelia hanging around is just the worst. All right, well, that takes care of the Shire and Bree, but we really haven't finished it off yet. Let's do Merry and Pippin, and then we'll save Frodo and Sam for later.
Okay, we can do that.
All right, let's go back up. Merry and Pippin are the friends of Sam and Frodo. They're hobbits from the Shire, and they kind of shoehorn themselves into the story, and they continue to do that all the way to the end.
Well, they each have beautiful story arcs that just show how even the smallest person can change the course of the future.
Right.
It may not change the course of the future of Middle-earth, but even the smallest person can be the most relevant at any point throughout the story. And by story, I mean life itself.
Sure, yeah. Which one is which in the movies? Can you tell us?
So, for those of you that have seen all 3 films, I think the easiest way to describe which is by telling you where they go once they part. Because if I try and tell you it's the one on the left and it's the one that should have stuck it in the hole in the ground, I think we're going to get confused. So, Merry, or Meriadoc Brandybuck, is the hobbit that ends up with Éowyn on the Battle of Pelennor Field. He rides in with the Rohirrim when they save the day at Minas Tirith. So that is Merry. So Merry, Rohan, and then Pippin, or Peregrine Took, is the one that rides with Gandalf to Minas Tirith after he holds to Palantir in the film. Holds to Palantir, and Gandalf drags him with him to Minas Tirith, and he ends up swearing fealty to Denethor, the steward of Gondor. So you end up seeing Pippin in all sorts of cool battle armor. But yeah, that's Merry and Pippin.
Yep, that's good. So who do you want to start with? Who do you want to reveal first? I kind of want to do both at once. So how about you do both of yours, and then I'll do both of mine.
All right. So, ready? So
yeah.
Merry and Pippin. Merry is Oliver Wood.
Okay.
And Pippin is Dean Thomas.
Okay, I'm really happy you didn't pick the twins, because I started there and then I totally changed it.
Can I confess something to you?
Yeah.
I didn't use the twins at all.
Me either.
At all.
I know.
It's not difficult to say. It really is.
It really is. I felt really bad about it, but at the same time, I don't know where they would go.
Right.
So you had Oliver Wood as Merry and Dean Thomas. Is that who you said?
Yes. And for those that want quick pictures, if you have IMDb up, Oliver Wood is played by Sean Biggerstaff, and Dean Thomas is played by Alfred Enoch.
Good stuff. All right, this is gonna feel way out of place for you, probably.
It's okay. Uh-oh. I see what's coming.
So, Merry.
I knew it. Say it.
Merry, I have... Oh, I don't know if you know what's coming. Merry, I have being played by Luna.
I knew it.
What?
I knew it. I knew you were going to do that with Merry and Pippin.
Okay, so I want you to guess. Who do I have for Pippin?
Oh, shoot. No, hold on. Should I try and guess?
Sure, yeah.
Do you have... Let's see. Pippin, I'm either going to say you have Ron Weasley or Seamus Finnegan.
No, neither one.
No, really?
No. For Pippin, the one who, in the Mines of Moria, knocks down the skeleton, the chain, and the bucket.
Yes.
I have Colin Creevey.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
He's good-hearted. He means well. He's a friend, but he gets in the way sometimes. And Luna is kind of a straight shooter, just an odd duck. And I don't know that fits Merry so much, but in the story arc of Harry Potter, Luna is one of the 6 that goes to the Ministry to help Harry fight against Voldemort and the Death Eaters. Yes. So that camaraderie, that loyalty, I really associate with Merry and Pippin. So I think both of those do fit. You just got to explain it a little bit.
All right, so where do we go next?
All right, let's see. We just finished the Shire and Bree. Do we move our way down, or do we jump to the bottom? Do we do some bad guys?
Well, okay.
Or not?
Once we get to bad guys, you're going to have a lot more to say than I will.
Oh, really?
I only cast a few of the Isengard and Mordor section.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I did 3.
You have the bad guy, the big ones, right?
Yes.
Like you have Saruman and Sauron and...
See, here's the thing. There were a couple characters... like the Witch King.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to see their face anyway.
Okay, all right.
So I didn't really cast the Witch King. Now I will say, for me growing up, the Witch King was my Darth Vader.
Let's jump down to Isengard and Mordor. Let's jump down to the bad guys, and we're going to work through this a little bit together, because you don't have a lot of your answers filled in, and I have some question marks.
Okay.
Let's start with the Witch King. You were talking about how you don't want to see their face. I actually didn't use a character, so to speak, as much as I used the Dementors.
Oh, what? That's cheating. You cheat.
I'm sorry. But the Dementors fit. Their identity is hidden. They probably don't have an identity in Harry Potter, but they induce fear just by their presence. They will kill you if you stand still too long. So that was my answer. Do you highly disagree? Do you think that's not fair?
I suppose one of the reasons I didn't pick anything was, again, you don't see a face anyway. So there I kind of, let's pick a voice. Like I would want to pick a voice for that character.
Right. Okay, so did you do that by chance?
I did, but it conflicts with another choice.
Okay, all right.
That'll come to fruition later. But if I were to give any voice from the Harry Potter films to the Witch King, I would give the same voice, and you can use modulation and special effects to differentiate. I would use the same voice for the Witch King and Sauron.
Okay, all right.
And that voice would be Jason Isaacs or Lucius Malfoy.
Okay.
So films when they're in the Department of Mysteries, and he says, like, he walks out of the shadows and he says, you really need to learn to tell the difference between a dream and reality. Whatever modulation they have going on with his voice there is spine tingling, and that's where I'd be going with, like, the Witch King and Sauron.
Where's Sirius?
You know, you really should learn to tell the difference between dreams and reality.
Okay, we're going to have some differing opinions on this because I tried to put people in these places.
That's fine.
Let's jump up to... Let's see, who do I have? I have a pair from Harry Potter do a kind of pair from Lord of the Rings. That's Gorbag and Shagrat.
Okay.
And these two are, if you're familiar with the books, you know their names a little bit better, but they're the two leaders of different orc divisions that are holed up in Cirith Ungol, which is the tower that Frodo is taken after he gets stabbed by Shelob. And they seem to know each other, but their companies don't get along very well. So I have Electo and Amicus Caro, who are sister and brother in Harry Potter, be these nasty orc characters. They're nasty human characters in Harry Potter. And I thought, since they sort of get along and they sort of don't get along being siblings, I thought that would work out well.
Well, those were... I only cast 3 orcs/Urukai, and Gorbag, Shagrat, and Gothmog. Movie Gothmog is an orc. Book Gothmog, we don't know what he is.
Right.
But those are the 3 that I cast, and...
Oh, really?
we are spot on with the Caros.
Oh, great. All right. I'm excited about that.
We are spot on.
Okay, so now I need to know Gothmog. Who do you got? Gothmog, tell us who Gothmog is in the movies.
So Gothmog in the movies, he is the orc general that leads the assault, the initial assault against Minas Tirith. And he's got the really, really, really heavily deformed face. Very epically steps aside at the last second as Minas Tirith launches its trebuchets.
Yeah,
that's Gothmog in the films. The Gothmog that I cast is Rufus Scrimgeour.
Oh, okay. All right. I have Greyback.
Oh, okay.
Just a nasty piece of work. Part of it is he's one of the bad guys in Harry Potter. That's not one of the main characters that you really don't like. You really know he's a bad guy because he's a werewolf that will attack specifically children, but he'll attack anybody and at any time because he's so far down the path of that evil that he just likes it now. So, and you see that Gothmog does some things that are kind of mean. I mean, you expect him from a main bad guy. He basically looks the guy in the eye in Osgiliath before he stabs the spear right through his heart. So, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So, bad guys. But Scrimgeour, I like that aura. He demands respect.
Yes.
Now, do you pick Scrimgeour or do you pick Bill Nighy?
Both. Especially because of the vocal talent.
Right. No, I agree. So, Wormtongue. This one I feel like I picked the obvious choice.
Oh?
Do you want to guess who that is?
I feel like I know. I'll let you say it.
Okay, I picked Peter Pettigrew.
Okay.
Because, he is the turncoat of the Harry Potter series. He's poisoning the mind of Theoden before he runs back to his real master later on in the series. So I picked Pettigrew. Do you have anybody you want to pick off the top of your head or dispute Pettigrew?
Yeah, we're on Wormtongue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Wormtongue.
Oh, you have Wormtongue.
Yeah, sorry, I went with orcs before. I just named the orcs that I cast.
Oh, I see. Okay, good.
Grima Wormtongue for me is, this is simultaneously Barty Crouch Jr. and David Tennant.
Okay.
That's my Grima.
All right.
So, I don't have any deep reason for choosing Barty Crouch Jr., but I think Grima Wormtongue is an unstable individual in just the right ways, and I think David Tennant is perfect for trying to portray that.
Okay.
No tongue flick.
No tongue. All right. I do have someone for Grishnak. In the movies, Grishnak is the orc who tries to kill Merry and Pippin.
What about their legs?
Yeah.
They don't need those.
Even after he's been ordered not to.
Yes.
So he's got kind of a gaunt face. You'd recognize him when you see him.
Correct me if I'm wrong, he's the one that crawls into Fangorn Forest after them, is he not?
Yes. Yeah, he's the one that keeps after him. So I picked Barty Jr. for that role.
Oh, okay. I can definitely see that. I neither disagree or agree.
All right.
It just is.
Yeah. So you didn't have anyone for that role.
No.
Okay. Let's do these two in order. I have Lurtz, and Lurtz is the big Uruk-hai who kills Boromir with many arrows. 3 arrows in the movie. He's a giant of an orc. I mean, he's an Uruk-hai, which is they're giant orcs as it is. Actually, let's talk about this. Are Uruk-hai orcs?
Yes and no. Saruman was pretty much getting into eugenics there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes and no. That's the official answer of me. Of me, because
Okay.
I possess the ability to give that answer.
Okay.
You're like, what do I do with that? I didn't cast anyone for Lurtz. I did not.
Okay, I picked Lurtz is one of these. He's another boss orc, and he just goes through Boromir like he's nothing. Boromir's been fighting off orcs all day long, and here he comes with this powerful short bow, and just 3 in a row, arrow, 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 and he doesn't even kill him. He just leaves him to die. I picked Bellatrix for this.
Oh, Curious. Okay. Okay. Why?
Because she's a heartless character. She does exactly what she's told. Well, I guess that's not totally true. It's mostly the heartlessness, I guess. She is powerful in magic in Harry Potter. She is one of the main bad guys. She's one of the most trusted of the main group of bad guys, and Lurtz is sent out as the leader of the Uruk-hai in this case to chase down and capture the hobbits. And he does his job. He just doesn't survive the Battle of Amon Hen. So I guess that's where I come from on that one. Going with the other orcs. Is there another one? Ugluk. Okay, I have Ugluk still. Ugluk is the Uruk-hai who takes over after Lurtz, and tries to get everyone back to Isengard. And I have Percy Weasley here.
Oh.
Because he's a rule follower.
Yes. This is the looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
That's the guy.
That's him.
But he has to enforce the rule that they aren't to be touched. He has to hold strong to that. So he is the what's the word? He's the prefect of the Uruk-hai.
Is he head boy too?
Yes. After Lurtz is gone.
That's fantastic.
So let's skip out of the bad guys. Who do you want to do next? Do you want to do Rohan? Do you want to do elves?
I think we should go for the elves.
The elves? Okay, Rivendell and Lothlórien is the category.
I'll take Rivendell for 300.
All right, shoot. Who do you got? Who do you want?
All right. So let's cut to the chase here. I'll do Lord Elrond.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep, that's fine. Right. This is an area that I struggled mightily with.
All right, me too. I ended up casting only actor. I did not have any. There was no participation from the character played in the Harry Potter films when choosing this role.
Okay.
And I gave this role to Jason Isaacs.
Okay.
While his voice belongs to the Witch King. But yes, anyway, this is Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, okay. I went with characters, remember. So I put Lucius Malfoy somewhere else. He actually, I'll tease this out, he's actually in my fellowship.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get there eventually.
All right.
Elrond came late. I sent you a text last night, kind of flipping out because I didn't have an Elrond.
Yep.
So I ended up with Barty Crouch Sr.
Whoa!
Yeah, it pains me a little bit, but
What?
He is knowledgeable and he is kind of firm, but as we know about Barty Crouch Sr., he doesn't, in Harry Potter he does it kind of for the wrong reasons or in the wrong way, but he takes care of his son. Actually, oh man, now that I'm thinking about it, he takes care of his son as a debt to his dead wife. So that's not as good. I might cut that part.
No, I think you need to leave that in there.
Great. But, he's knowledgeable. You can ask him. He's got deep lore. Barty Crouch Sr. knows the rules backwards and forwards. He's highly respected. He runs his part of the ministry tightly and well. And I think we can say some of those things for Lord Elrond.
And yes, I did say before when I was saying that I chose Jason Isaacs. Mm-hmm. That's who plays Lucius Malfoy.
Yes. All right. So we've got him out of the way. Should we stay in Rivendell and go with Arwen?
Sure.
All right. Who do you have for Arwen?
I have Hermione Granger.
I'm not entirely surprised.
To be perfectly honest, I didn't know where else to put her.
Oh, okay.
Well,
all right. That's fair.
She's going.
All right. I put Ginny Weasley, partly because I really wanted to have Ginny in here, and I think that Arwen for Aragorn is the person he loves but can't have right now. And I think that Harry Potter and Ginny Weasley have that same dynamic at the end of Book 6 and into Book 7. Not that I don't have Harry as Aragorn, but seeing her play that role, I can translate that. And I think she could do it.
I picked Emma Watson primarily because she's very, very mature in her acting style.
Yeah.
She was able, at such a young age, she was able to reach emotional peaks that I don't think many people were able to.
I think you're right, yeah.
So I think for someone to play a character that is as tragic purely in their existence as Arwen,
right?
I think she's kind of perfect for that.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
Should we go to Lothlórien?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's start on the bottom of the totem pole here. What about Haldir?
Haldir. Okay, I'll go. Haldir, this is a character, this is a kind of a tertiary character to the whole story. So I just picked someone for aesthetics, and I picked Fleur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't really have a good pick for this one.
Okay. I also picked for aesthetic, and I actually went with Quirrell, or Ian Hart.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Yep. Yeah, I just put him in there. So not the character Quirrell.
Yeah, obviously. Not this time.
Right. What about Lord Celeborn? I'm looking at my list right now and seeing how I take the character name from both and I compare the characters. I'm just like, okay, that makes no sense.
Right? Yeah, well, I think at the end of this we should flip it around and see, after our casting, what does Harry Potter look like if we took, like in this case, if we took Pippin and put him into Colin Creevy's role, like for me. Like, what would that be like? That'd be crazy. But we'll do that at the end. Celeborn, I have Xenophilius Lovegood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Guess who I have?
Who do you have?
Gilderoy Lockhart.
Nice! I was looking for a good place for him, and I couldn't find it.
I went, like, aesthetic there for me. I think he's an attractive guy. And elves are supposed to have this physical aestheticism to them that's not normal. And so for me, it was purely a physical cast instead of anything about the character Gilderoy Lockhart. Because yes, that is totally what Celeborn's all about.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. If I had kind of jumped away from what I had already written down, I probably could have found Gilderoy there easily. All right, Lady Galadriel.
Oh,
this has gone through quite a few variations for me, and I would like to. This is going to hurt you. I feel like this is going to be so far out of left field.
Uh-oh.
I'm just. Should I go first, or should you go first?
Given that it's left field, I think you should probably go first.
All right, Lady Galadriel. This is a symptom of the fact that I've used all the other people in other places. Okay, so Lady Galadriel is the de facto queen of Lothlórien.
I know where you're going with this.
I don't think you do. She's got this mystical quality about her, and people are uncomfortable in their presence, or they totally fall in love with her. And I have here Firenze.
Why?
Because all the other characters were gone. Because mostly the mystical nature stuff, not really the power, the strength. I moved McGonagall out of this place for someone else, and I was really happy with McGonagall, but I was unhappy with where I have her now. So I bumped her up the ranks.
Okay.
In storytelling, she's a more important character now.
Fair enough. Wait, more important than Galadriel. Okay. I remember you said that.
That might... yeah, don't hold me to that, I guess. Screen time. More screen time.
Yes. I'm only kidding.
All right.
So, my Galadriel.
Yes,
I'm
please.
Stuck between two.
Okay.
And hopefully you can help me.
Okay.
Both of which are exceedingly powerful women.
Okay, yep.
Arguably for different reasons.
Okay.
Very different reasons. One of them we hate. One of them we hate, and then we love them in the end. Mm-hmm. I cannot choose between Bellatrix Lestrange / Helena Bonham Carter or Narcissa Malfoy / Helen McCrory.
Okay. All right. Here I am, like punching myself in the teeth because I somehow forgot about Narcissa. And I know that
she's such a powerful presence.
Yes, and I would be totally happy with picking her in that role. I would pick Narcissa of those two. But since you're stuck on that, do you have either of those somewhere else?
No.
Okay.
I couldn't shake either of them from that role, so that's just where they ended up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm content going with Narcissa / Helen.
We have one more elf to cover though. From our fellowship, we have Legolas.
Oh, okay.
Who do you got?
I could be shot for this.
Oh dear. Who do you got? I'll tell you. I can tell you mine first if you want.
I'll go first. Rip the Band-Aid off.
All right.
Fandoms, don't you dare come at me for this. Flame shield on. I have Cedric Diggory.
Oh my
as
gosh.
Legolas. That is who I have.
Okay, all right.
I will say, you gave us a hint as to your fellowship. Mm-hmm. My fellowship is very young.
Okay. Mine is all over the board, I think.
Okay. Mine is very young, and more than half of it is based on the actor, not the character.
Okay. My Legolas is Hermione Granger.
Oh, my lord.
And here's why.
It's Tariel syndrome all over again.
And here's why. Because my Gimli is Ron.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
See, here's another situation where the characters, like Ron and Hermione were both in the Ministry. They're like the steadfast ones. They're through it to the end, but they're not Merry and Pippin material. They're not Aragorn and Boromir material either.
Fair enough.
So that's why. And so this is a situation of a relationship that starts off very rocky and ends up being super solid by the end. So I played off that as well for both stories.
Okay.
Who do you have for your Gimli? Since we don't have many dwarves,
I think I gotta go into Gimli here.
Yeah.
My Gimli is Brendan Gleeson, aka Mad-Eye Moody.
Okay, I could totally see that. I do have him somewhere else though.
Okay.
So stay tuned.
Gotcha.
All right, so Brendan Gleeson, that's good. I like that for Gimli. I think he's much better looking Gimli than Ron is, for sure.
Oh dear.
I think he's better for looking like Gimli. I don't know what I'm saying.
He's the more aesthetic choice.
For a Gimli.
Yeah. Exactly. Or Brendan Gleeson. Should we give another villain?
Do you want to finish off the villains, or do you want to...
We could do Smeagol.
Smeagol. Do you want to do the Mouth of Sauron and the One Ring, which you kind of did?
Yes. The Ring and Sauron and the Witch King all have the same voice originator for me. The reason being, the Witch King, Ring Wraith, powered by the ring. I feel like the voice is no longer his voice. The voice should be coming from the ring anyway, which comes from Sauron, which would have the same voice. That's my reason.
So, you have the Ring, Sauron, the Witch King, and the Mouth of Sauron?
Mouth of Sauron, I could bunch in there, sure.
I have... I picked possibly the most comedic choice for the Mouth of Sauron.
Oh no, I'm scared.
I picked Rita Skeeter.
Okay.
Because...
Is this since you can see her head cut off?
Well, that's part of it. I think that's part of the reason you picked her for the Gatekeeper, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. Purely innocent, sir.
Yeah. So I picked Rita partly because she spits filth, through her articles and everything in Harry Potter. So she continues to lie or stretch the truth or bluff, basically.
Sure.
Through as the Mouth of Sauron. So that's why I picked her.
Okay.
You have the voice kind of down. I have different people for these things.
Go for it.
And actually this is possibly comedic also because it doesn't make a ton of sense to pick these people. But for the voice of the ring, I picked Creature because he just mumbles and spits filth through his mouth as well. But comedically, I also picked Mrs. Black, who just spews all kinds of horrible things.
That's fantastic. Oh, I love that so much.
So, I mean, and they're both like two peas in a pod, those two. So maybe they could work together, and when it's loud and vicious, it's Mrs. Black, and when it's just subtly happening, it's Creature.
Okay.
Part of the reason I have two names there is because I have Creature as a possible in another position. So let's do that one, actually.
Okay. I'm assuming you speak of...
Smeagol and Gollum.
Yes.
Smeagol being his real name, Gollum being his given name by those who have heard him down in the caves, and he makes this sound that sounds like Gollum. Would you agree to that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what people where he lived started calling him. Based on the sound that he would make. That's what they just started calling poor little Smeagol.
Right, poor little Smeagol. So do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first on this one?
You segued into it, so go for it. I'm curious now.
My first option... Now, in the movies, Gollum is kind of this split personality. And actually, it's not kind of. He very much has these conversations with himself where he has very different temperaments and postures and senses of humor, basically.
Did you Dobby Creature this?
I did. That was my first choice. I do have another choice.
Okay.
So my first choice is Dobby Creature. Dobby plays Smeagol. Creature plays Gollum. Smeagol is good Smeagol. Gollum is bad Gollum.
Oh. Okay. Do you want me to give mine between yours?
Yeah, do that.
All right. So we learn near the end of the Return of the King that Gollum is out of the picture with the ring so close. All that's left is Smeagol. And Smeagol is worse than Gollum. I put Peter Pettigrew here.
Oh. All right.
Because he was a trusted friend.
Yes.
There was good that people perceived, and they trusted him. And for his own... He had his own self-incentivized reasons for doing what he did, but he chose more or less power over everything else.
Yep.
And that's kind of what Smeagol does.
Yes.
Rotten to the core.
Right.
To the point that you call Dobby Smeagol. It makes me so sad.
Well, that's true. Now, I was going a lot based on like their personalities, and in the movies, Smeagol is very much more upbeat.
It's almost like a puppy.
Yeah, very much like that. And I could see Dobby playing that role well. So my other option is Peeves. Peeves is mischievous and cruel and doesn't give a damn. He's not, strictly speaking, bad, but he is he's more mischief than he is good, I guess.
Okay.
But we do see him take the good side when it's in his own interest.
Yes.
And I think we could play that up for the Gollum character as well. So I like Pettigrew. I like your reasoning. I like that, he's trusted, and at the very end, we see this really bad twist, bad for our heroes. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's good. I like that. The Dobby creature thing is kind of an easy out. All right, so we saved some of the big bad guys.
I'm so excited to share my Saruman when it's time.
When it's time. It's not time yet.
No.
Let's go to Rohan and Gondor, or should we do the creatures?
I didn't cast either one at all. Because, for me, those are such iconic things, I wouldn't touch them.
Yeah. No, well, I have kind of a comedic example for the Balrog.
The Bloody Baron?
No. See, for Shelob, the problem is that there's Aragog in Harry Potter, and it's a little bit too on the nose, and they're not exactly the same, but they're still both giant spiders. So I put that down because I wanted to have it in place.
Okay.
But I couldn't come up with another good example. Let's see what I have on my sheet here.
You could almost put the basilisk there.
Oh, good idea. I didn't think of that. I actually had Greyback there at one point. Okay. Early on, but I don't know. I think I picked him because he was another character that was pretty powerful, but wasn't a main character.
Sure.
The basilisk, I kind of like that, as far as badness and scariness.
But even fits in the setting.
Yeah, definitely. The cave, the tight enclosed place. Yeah, it's all good. I like that. That's a good option. The Balrog, known as Durin's Bane. I picked my funny option here is the Whomping Willow.
Oh. Okay. It's fantastic.
When I thought of that, I laughed out loud for a good 3 minutes. I just loved it.
Does it chase them through more?
Well, it's got to get out there somehow. But just the idea of these big branches coming down on the bridge of Khazad Dûm was really funny to me.
Oh, Gandalf's got a lumberjack's axe.
Vines, you fools!
Oh, no. Well, I have no counter to that.
The other one I had was Grop, actually. Grop.
He's more of a cave troll.
He is. I agree. But I didn't have the cave troll on the list. Alright, should we go into the men?
Let's do it.
Alright, let's do the men. Rohan and Gondor.
This is where my people looking alike really starts to come into play.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, now we have families that go together.
Yes.
Alright, so which family do you want to start with? Do you want to do Denethor, Faramir, Boromir?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, in what order?
I'll give you my Denethor. My Denethor is played by Tom Riddle, a.k.a. Lord Voldemort, a.k.a. Ralph Fiennes.
Okay, alright. Now, Denethor is the steward of Gondor. He's not the king, but he doesn't want a king to come either.
No.
And he is sort of rotten in his own mind. He's not necessarily a bad leader. He is pretty much a bad father. But he has this personal strength that is very strong. He fights with the Palantir to gain knowledge, but as we learn, he is offering up much more than he is gaining.
And he's inadvertently fought himself into a corner because, based on what he's seen, he doesn't think that there's a reason to continue struggling any longer.
He's basically given up by the time that the battle happens.
And in the films, there's that infamous sequence with Gandalf asking him, where are Gondor's armies? And in the books, he's mustering Gondor, but doesn't care.
Right, yeah. In this place, I have Snape.
Oh.
Partly because he's got this wicked streak. He plays favorites. Mm-hmm. He just looks down on those that he feels are lesser. And he does have strength in himself. Mm-hmm. But he is so wrapped up in grief at the same time that he can't. He's kind of paralyzed by it.
Right.
So that's what I have. I have Snape there. So let's go. Denethor's younger son is Faramir.
Faramir is the captain of the Rangers of Ithilien. Ithilien, if you look at the map of Middle-earth, Ithilien is directly west of the western mountains that border Mordor. Mm-hmm. It's this beautiful grassland area that unfortunately is overcast by the shadows of Mordor at the moment. But Faramir is the captain of those Rangers. My Faramir and it's based off of the quality of his character, and what that character specifically has to go through. Mm-hmm. I cast Harry Potter.
Okay.
Daniel Radcliffe. So there's start of the physical similarities. Ralph Fiennes, Daniel Radcliffe.
Yep.
Starting to come together.
Okay. All right. I am not at all worried about the way they look, but I put Lupin into here.
Oh.
Because Lupin is a character who is kind of put upon unjustly. He is a good character, good in his heart, good in his actions. He tries his hardest to be the right kind of person, but he is unwelcome in certain circles. And I thought Lupin was a good fit for Faramir. I guess I do also think that what's his name? Who plays Faramir?
David Wenham.
I do kind of think that you can make a case that they look a little bit the same, David Wenham and David Thewlis.
Keep that in mind.
Okay, all right. So we are going to move on from Faramir, the younger brother, to Boromir, part of our fellowship, the elder brother.
Boromir is the golden boy of Gondor.
Mm-hmm.
In his father's eyes, he can do no wrong. He is the captain of Gondor, period.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to any military endeavor, it's Boromir's word, second only to his father. Mm-hmm. And he joins the Fellowship for nefarious reasons. You find out in the extended Two Towers. They want the ring. But I cast Boromir as... gonna get shot for this. I cast Boromir as Freddie Strama, a.k.a. Cormac McLagan.
Oh my gosh!
Because he is Golden Boy.
Okay.
Like, he's got the physical looks, he's got the strength. Golden Boy. Oh. And that, to me, was where Boromir... where I wanted to take Boromir.
You just broke my head! Oh.
Why?
No, everything you said makes sense. It's just not at all where I was with Boromir.
A little ice cream finger lick there.
No, for Boromir, I have Lucius.
Really?
Yeah. In my version, Boromir is seduced to the more powerful side. So when he goes on this rant and rave about how he's going to change everything and everything's going to be good if he has the power, if only they would give him this one thing that would give him the chance to defeat the Dark Lord. This is the poison that he's being fed. You know, we're led to believe at the end of the Harry Potter series that the Malfoys, if they were in different circumstances, wouldn't be with the bad camp.
Yes.
And I feel like Boromir starts off as, you know, he's in the Fellowship not for bad reasons. Yes, he has ulterior motives. He's trying to get the Fellowship to go to Gondor, to Minas Tirith, and hold the ring there. He doesn't really want it destroyed. That's true. But he's not actually trying, you know, he's letting everything unfold as it is and trying to encourage this, you know, change of path.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets kind of poisoned both by his father, who has put him on this journey, but also the ring is calling to him because it knows that, you know, he is susceptible. So I think Lucius kind of fits that character-wise, but I do agree that Jason Isaacs' voice is something everyone should desire.
Well, I definitely, like, for me, his voice, I have to use it. Like, must be used. must be used.
All right, that's good.
So, but there is the beginning of my young fellowship. My fellowship is very, very young.
Yeah, we've got Dean Thomas, Cedric Diggory, Oliver Wood, and Cormac McLagan in your, and then Brendan Gleeson.
Yes, as the grizzly dwarf.
Right.
They come out of the room looking 57 and bearded. So, no worries.
Excellent. That's good to know.
They don't give them bottles. in the nursery. They give them pints.
See? And only the strong survive.
It's true.
All right, let's switch families. Let's go to King Theoden, and then I assume Theodred, and then do you have Éomer and Éowyn kind of in that family? Let's start with the head of the house, King Theoden. He is the king of Rohan. They are the horse people. And he is the one who leads his people to Helm's Deep to fight against the orcs of Isengard, the Uruk-hai. Who do you have for King Theoden?
King Theoden for me. King Theoden, when I was younger, when I was first reading The Lord of the Rings, King Theoden was arguably my favorite character.
Oh yeah, I love him.
I adore what he goes through. He's been broken by Wormtongue and by proxy, Saruman. Totally beaten down and broken to the point that he doesn't even recognize his family anymore.
Right.
He is unrecognizable. I believe he uses that word at one point, that the king of Rohan is now unrecognizable, hunched, crippled, uses a cane even though he doesn't need to.
Right.
And in the films, obviously, they do a beautiful job with the makeup there. But he's someone that has to get over this. He's got to get over it. His dying line is that he now will enter the halls of his fathers and shall no longer feel ashamed. And it's like, wow, he's beating himself up so much for what he did. And I chose someone who beats themselves up so much for something that they are.
Okay.
And they only got through it with the help of friends and family, just like King Theoden got through what he was going through with the help of a friend that he didn't even know he had in Gandalf. And so I put Remus Lupin.
Okay, all right. If you were going to put me to a guess, I would have guessed Lupin by your description.
Yes.
That's good. I like it. So then his son is Theodred, and we don't actually get to know Theodred because by the time that we enter that story, he's already dead.
Who's your Theoden?
What? Oh, did I skip it? I did.
I see what you did there.
I'm sorry.
You just agree so much with me.
It was perfect. My King Theoden is actually Mad-Eye Moody.
Okay.
Because he for everything that you said, he's unrecognizable and he's doesn't recognize his own family or his real allies. Once he's beyond that, once he's been rescued by Gandalf, he is decisive. And though he is prone to doubt, he does move forward relentlessly, basically, like to the final battle, if that be what it is. He is finally taking action. He is finally stepping forward, and he is the leader that his people need. And I feel like Mad-Eye Moody, from the perspective of the Order of the Phoenix, is that leader to move towards action. He is the one who takes charge when they're doing little things like moving Harry Potter to safety. And he's the trusted military organizer, basically, in Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. And I find him to be a much more positive character than Denethor, even though they both have a fixation on death. They both expect to die. They both expect it to be pointless, but Theoden moves forward with an anticipation of there might be light, and Denethor moves as though there's all darkness.
Well, and most importantly, I think Theoden, he realizes what has to be done. Even if they end up losing, it has to be done.
Right.
I think the films capture it so beautifully when they ride up on the ridge and they see Minas Tirith is besieged by 200,000 or more, and it's on fire, and he looks... Kudos to Bernard Hill, who played the role. He looks broken.
Right.
And then within a few moments, snaps. And he's like, all right. And then it's reprised again when they sweep in front of Minas Tirith, and then the Mumakil, or the elephants from the south, come riding in. And his instant response is, reform the line. And I'm just like, whoa, okay. That is so polar opposite from the guy in the tower behind you.
Right, exactly. I love these two characters, Denethor and Theoden. I think they're great people in similar roles who respond differently to almost the same situation. I think that'd be great to explore later on.
Absolutely.
Theodred, let's jump back up to that one. Theodred being the son of King Theoden, who is dead by the time we actually enter the story. Who do you have here?
I put a throwaway.
Okay.
And I picked someone that bared some resemblance to Lupin,
okay,
who is my Theoden. So we have Percy Weasley there.
Okay, all right.
Retribution.
versus my Percy, who is Ugluk.
We love him so much.
He's useful for little things. For my Theodred, I have Cedric.
Oh,
because he dies untimely.
Fair enough.
Sorry. Don't shoot me, fandoms.
Ride up, and someone on the orc side just goes, kill this man! Well, Theodred goes down first.
It was an ambush.
It was. It's true.
It was.
Should we do Éowyn or Éomer first? They're kind of a pair.
They are a pair.
I mean, they really are a pair. So, you know what? I will go ahead and give these to everyone in a pair.
Okay.
My Éowyn and Éomer, respectively. We have Fleur Delacour and Bill Weasley.
Okay, I like that, but that's not who I chose.
Again, they both bear striking physical resemblance to Remus Lupin.
I'm going to have to go back and look at this because I'm not seeing it immediately in my mind's eye.
They look like they're his nephew and niece.
Okay, I'm going to have to look him up. Is Bill Gleason? Is Bill?
Yes, Doomhold Gleason.
Okay, I can see it. I had the wrong Weasley in my head at first. Okay, my Éowyn, and this was tough for me because my daughter's named Éowyn. So I had to pick somebody who kind of fit the whole role because this is an important character to me. I picked Tonks.
Okay.
She's one of the few strong female characters who's kind of young. She's a little bit unsure of herself and what she's doing. I mean, part of her problem is that she's in love with Lupin, but she is individually powerful. She just has these doubts and concerns, and she doesn't feel like she necessarily fits in all the time. So that's who I picked. I picked Tonks.
No man can kill me. Don't call me a man.
And by happenstance or design, I don't know which anymore, Tonks and Lupin, Éowyn and Faramir are in my cast. So they just get a happy ending in Lord of the Rings. So if you look at it that way as a pair, they do kind of have slightly similar stories. So Éomer, I have James Potter, and I don't have a ton of justification for this other than he is, he's strong, he's headstrong, he's popular, he is a natural leader among his friends especially, and he was well trusted and liked. And I think Éomer is those things. He is banished, but that would never have happened if there wasn't evil intervention. And he's well liked. Éomer is well liked among the captains and the soldiers of Rohan. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Did you pick a Hammer?
I thought I did. No.
Okay, I have Kingsley here because I like Kingsley.
Okay.
Hammer in the movie is the door warden, and he is the guy who, against his orders, lets Gandalf in the presence of Theoden with his staff.
You told him to take the wizard's staff.
You told him. So I put Kingsley there, partly because he plays a bodyguard role a lot in Harry Potter, and partly because I think he's just a good, strong tertiary character.
Okay.
All right, I have a King of the Dead. Do you have a King of the Dead?
I did not cast a King of the Dead.
Right,
I can quickly cast one if you want.
Sure. Yeah, you want to do one off the top of your head?
We'll put... Honestly, I think I would want to put Fudge there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Fudge or Greyback. We'll just pick one of those.
Okay. All right, I put the Bloody Baron.
Ghost for Ghost, I see.
Yeah, Ghost for Ghost, but he's also, like, of the ghosts, he's the most frightening. And I don't know, that's kind of a throwaway one, but I thought it was fun to ask about, at least.
For sure.
We didn't do the historical figures. Did you put anyone for Deagle or Isildur?
I did.
Isildur is the person who finally gets the ring away from Sauron way back in the history, and later on loses it in an ambush, and it's that ambush that causes him to lose the ring in the river, and later on Deagle finds it. So these are the two characters we're going to deal with. So I have Igor Karkaroff for Isildur.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I kind of like that.
Yeah. Thanks.
My Isildur is a cinematic cop-out.
Okay.
I have chosen, quote, Tom Felton with prosthesis. Well, and part of it has to do with, for those that have seen the Hobbit films, in the scenes where you see Girion, the Lord of Dale, trying to shoot down Smaug when he's first attacking Dale.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, that is Bard. Luke Evans.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The actor who plays Bard the Bowman. That is him wearing some facial prosthesis and a little padding in his armor to make him look a little bigger. And I thought it did a great job kind of getting across the fact that, oh, that's his descendant. Bard is his descendant. There's enough similarity in their appearance. And so I think it would be kind of cool to see that, because especially film-wise, they really, really focus in on Aragorn's struggle with his lineage.
Right.
And I think having that visual kind of anchor that you put down if you have Tom Felton playing Isildur, and then a different looking Tom Felton playing Aragorn, I think it could help with that. So, cinematic cop-out.
I gotcha. All right. So let's go to Deagle. Deagle is the unfortunate hobbit who gets killed by Smeagol after finding the ring.
It was Smeagol's birthday. Just saying. That gives him license to kill. My Deagle, we don't know much about Deagle, other than that he hangs out with Smeagol. Right. I cast Seamus Finnegan.
Okay.
So I thought that would look kind of decent.
That's cool. I went with an unfortunate character. I went with Stan Shunpike. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I like that. Oh my gosh. Poor thing.
Alright, so we're down to only a few, and I wonder if we have to go back up to our fellowship and fill in who Aragorn is for ourselves. So, do you want me to go first on this one?
Sure.
Okay. My Aragorn is Minerva McGonagall.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why?
Because she is ready to fight. She is protective of her charges. She is wise and strong and powerful. We see a lot of the staff unleash their power in the Battle of Hogwarts. And she is the take charge. She is the deputy headmistress. She is she just steps up into the role of leader as often and as soon as she needs to, and she doesn't blink. She just steps up and does her job. And I think Aragorn sometimes is forced into this role of action even when he doesn't want to, because he has to.
Yeah,
I
can see that.
So who is your young Aragorn?
My young Aragorn, I have no overt justification for it outside of aesthetic, and I think the actor would be kick butt. I have Tom Felton, aka Draco Malfoy.
Oh, see, he is a notable character to be missed in my list.
Oh my!
I know. I struggled with some of these missed characters, but I couldn't necessarily find a place for them to fit.
I'll tell you, I did text you this. I recast Aragorn. This is my fifth. This is the fifth person that went in there.
Do you want to share, your path to Tom Felton?
I don't remember maybe the first three.
Okay.
Disgracefully, for a brief moment, Daniel Radcliffe was there.
Okay.
And I almost didn't even cast him at all. So the fact that he's Faramir he should be happy there.
Okay.
I had Freddie Stroma or Cormac McLagan there at first. Because I thought this is someone that's going to have to be like serious action star. Yeah. There was also Éomer, Dumal Gleeson.
Oh, okay.
So Bill Weasley, he was almost Aragorn, and then Draco / Tom Felton takes it.
All right. I thought I had a whole bunch here for Aragorn. I originally had Sirius here, but he's also a notably missing character. He didn't have kind of the stick-to-itiveness that I wanted, so I cut him. My Boromir, though, started with Draco. It also had Snape there as a possible. Okay. And then on a whim and a crazy moment, I had Sir Cadogan.
Oh my.
And then I thought, no, that's way too out there. And then that's when I finally landed on Lucius.
Interesting.
So, yeah. I went through quite a few variations there. So I have McGonagall because I thought she was strong enough to be in that role. I like Tom Felton. I like this young cast. I think it would be really interesting to cast it young and see how it turns out.
I think I'm really enjoying the fact that we both approached it from completely different angles without intending to.
I think, even with movies, when you have these characters kind of laid out with people that you can look at and voices you can hear, you can still look at who the characters are and see different things. But from books, you have such variation in what people imagine these characters look like and sound like and act like that I think we're kind of inadvertently showing that off.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, I like it.
It is a very good thing. So, yes, Tom Felton is my Aragorn. And let it be known, let it be stated on the record, that I hate Viggo Mortensen's Aragorn. I hate it. Save that for another time.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. Don't worry. All right, so we have a couple left. Let's round off some of these who you may or may not have anybody for, and then we'll come back to the most important characters story-wise, and we'll do that. We'll finish it off that way.
All right.
And then we'll do historical figures on the bottom. I guess.
Which one do you want to start with?
We're gonna have to work through this a little bit. Tom Bombadil.
Ah, yes.
Did you cast somebody for this?
I did.
Okay, I feel like mine is a cop-out because I couldn't think of anybody whose character was the right thing for this.
In all honesty, I don't know if there is someone who is the right character. He's such a literary enigma, like really.
Right. Then I might have the only option, but he's not on the list of characters that I gave you.
Who do you have?
Merlin.
You know what? I almost cast Merlin as Gandalf.
Really?
Almost. I'm very happy with my Gandalf, but I almost cast Merlin as Gandalf.
All right, we don't really have time to get into who Tom Bombadil is, but when we get to that part of the book, we are going to spend a lot of time, as much time as necessary, to figure this out because he is such an enigma. And Merlin is a semi-mythical character.
Slytherin.
You know.
just say it.
He's a Slytherin. You're right.
I threw you off.
It's been confirmed by J.K. Rowling. So who did you cast? Who'd you put in here for Tom Bombadil?
The one and only John Cleese, a.k.a. Nearly Headless Nick.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, if I can picture any actor from the Harry Potter films, prancing around, skipping around, speaking and sing-song, it is John Cleese.
Yes. Okay, I can see that.
Shadow of a doubt.
Did you have anybody for Old Man Willow?
Old Man Willow, I have something that's kind of out there.
Uh-huh.
I have Tom Riddle's diary.
Oh, nice.
Because it kind of, for lack of a better term, it seduces the people that interact with it. Mm-hmm. And Old Man Willow, kind of, they're in a daze, and then he just swallows them up.
Yeah.
And they're gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is sort of a seductive character.
Right. It totally detracts you from anything. I mean, we have no justification for why Old Man Willow is there.
That whole chapter in the book is kind of this aside to show more of Middle-earth, which is why the movie makers, I think rightly, for the way the story is told, cut it out. And you can say what you want about whether or not it should have been cut out, but I will defend to the end that different mediums require different forms of storytelling, and you just can't spend that kind of time on a character that means nothing to the rest of the story.
Absolutely. Now, I will say they did go and give a little bit of fan service to people who were wanting that Old Man Willow interaction and the infamous lines from Tom Bombadil involving, "You should not be waking," to Old Man Willow. They actually give those lines to Treebeard in the Two Towers Extended, and there is a tree in Fangorn Forest that swallows up Merry and Pippin as they're arguing about the Ent draft that they're drinking that is making them grow. Little aside there, just like the Old Forest. So yes, my Old Man Willow is a book.
Excellent.
Who's your Saruman?
Oh, okay. Are we getting into this?
Yeah.
All right. So actually, let's go back. You've already revealed your Sauron, and I didn't. So I'll go back.
Ooh, yes, please do.
So here is a little bit different. I struggled with this one. This character I originally had justified as the Witch King, but then I counter-justified this choice. So I have Voldemort as Sauron. And the reason I wanted him as the Witch King is because he's the physical presence of the evil, of the danger. But at the same time, in the Harry Potter story, Voldemort is the originator of the danger. Mm-hmm. And Sauron is the originator of the danger in Lord of the Rings. So I thought that was more appropriate because I didn't have a Sauron. And I thought since I put a Dementor in as the Witch King, I originally had them flipped, and I thought having a Dementor as Sauron does both Voldemort and Sauron a disservice.
Sure.
So that's why I did that. I felt like it was kind of a given to make the bad guy, but I couldn't get around that in my head.
Okay.
All right, Saruman. Give us a little bit of who Saruman is.
Saruman, he is the White Wizard. He was chosen to lead the group of 5 wizards in their efforts in Middle-earth to counteract and work against and spur action against the growing threat of Sauron. And Saruman loves to tinker. He loves to manipulate things, interpret that how you will. And Saruman, essentially, he's a perfect embodiment of that old saying, stare long into the abyss and the abyss stares back at you. Saruman is the perfect example of that in doing so much research about power. He came to love the idea of having power. And in the films, we see this interesting take that Saruman is working as a subservient of Sauron. In the books, Saruman is very clearly working to get the ring before Sauron because he wants to challenge him. He thinks he can do better. So that's who we're looking at for Saruman. And for the love of power and the growing sense that they set off on the right path and are slowly but surely in an escalating speed straying from the right path, I have Dolores Umbridge.
Okay. Umbridge. Very unlikable.
Right?
Saruman isn't strictly unlikable, but he is this twist on what seems to be good. You know, Umbridge presents this good face, but underneath she's just darkness.
She's vile.
Yeah, she's horrible. Saruman doesn't reveal himself to have picked sides, and definitely not to have picked sides that are counter to his allies. But when he does, it's far too late. My Saruman, I feel, is a stroke of genius, and at the same time, possibly not very good.
Oh my.
Because he's not a main character in Harry Potter, but he is one of these revealed to have power characters. And I chose for Saruman Ollivander.
Oh. Interesting.
He's deep in the lore. He is knowledgeable. He is ambiguous ethically and morally. Mm-hmm. And he's an uncomfortable character in Harry Potter when you finally get to know him later on. And I feel like Saruman is one of these characters. He has picked a side. He doesn't see himself as being the bad guy, but he is trying to justify his own ends. Really, the tie-in for Ollivander is the deep in the lore and kind of this uncomfortable character.
Uncomfortable is a good word.
Yeah. The music for Saruman is it in 5/4? Is that what?
I believe it's 5/4.
Yeah, so it never resolves. It's just constantly marching forward. It's always falling over itself to keep going. And I feel like that creates a sense of foreboding that you sometimes feel with Ollivander. You don't know where he stands.
Oh, good choices both.
Yeah. I like Umbridge there. I think that's good. All right, we only have a couple left. We have Sam, we have Gandalf, and we have Frodo. Let's do them in that order. So, do you want me to go first for Sam, or do you want to go first?
I can go first. So, my Sam, steadfast friend. Some would argue that Samwise the Brave is the true hero of the story. I chose a character whose quality of friendship is very nearly second to none, and I have Ron Weasley as Samwise Gamgee.
Okay, I can go with that. I picked Ron to be Gimli, a different role in the Fellowship.
Yes.
I landed on Sam and Frodo the way they are, but I had them reversed earlier on. And the reason I switched them is for exactly what you said. I feel that Sam is the character who becomes the real hero. We're all following Frodo and hoping he does it, but at the end, without Sam, it all falls apart.
Yeah.
So, I have Neville Longbottom as Sam.
Neville Longbottom was your original Frodo?
Yeah.
Oh dear. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, anyway. Sorry.
Part of this is, in the Harry Potter story, they're both possible to be the chosen one, the one chosen by Voldemort to be his equal. They're equals in that sense. In the Lord of the Rings story, they're not equals per se, but they're both heroes.
Okay.
And I think that Neville proves himself beyond shadow of a doubt over the course of the Harry Potter story. You know, he is a little bit bumbling. He is a little bit incapable. I have Neville there because he comes along so far. Sam also comes along and changes and adapts and becomes as strong a character and as strong a hero as he is in the end by the time the ending is required of him.
Right.
So I feel like Neville does fit that, but he doesn't have the friendship strength that Ron does throughout the whole Harry Potter series. So.
Well, and part of what really drew me to Ron, this is one of those odd characters where I chose based on character.
Okay.
Gasp. Really, the social status of his family. He's a very subservient character.
Yes.
His family is, and he tries as hard as he can to push against that.
Yeah.
And push against that. And Harry does not see him as subservient at all, and now all of a sudden Ron Weasley is the equal of the boy who lived. Like, oh my gosh. And here we have Frodo, who is Sam's master, more or less, and they're equals on this journey. Frodo could not have made it there had it not been for Sam.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So I liked that there was a kind of parallel there.
Yeah.
Because likewise, Harry would not have made it without Ron.
Right, that's true. All right, we have 2 left. I'm going to take both of these first, and then you go second.
Yes, please do. My Frodo, I need to explain my Frodo.
Okay. No, and I think I've revealed mine. But right now, Gandalf, I feel like I copped out. I feel like I couldn't think of anybody who was a similar character. So I have Dumbledore here. Now, I did go off of character. I didn't go off of actors or what they looked like or anything like that. So it's like 1-to-1 Dumbledore. It's like 1-to-1 Dumbledore sort of fits it. He is arguably the most powerful wizard in Harry Potter, and Gandalf is arguably the most powerful character. I mean, there's Galadriel and there's Saruman and there's these others, but as far as the main heroes go, he's it.
Well, Gandalf does level up, too.
Yes, he does.
It's true, he does. Gandalf, it's time for mine again.
Yes, please. I want to know. I'm curious.
My Gandalf. This was done for actor. Also, power of presence, I think. Because not only the actor, but the character portrays this very well. And that sense that they're always slightly annoyed with you. Fool of a toque. I have the late, great Alan Rickman. Severus Snape.
Finally, I was wondering where he was for you.
Yes. That is my Gandalf. For me, it was really important for whoever it was that was going to be in that role to be able to deliver those lines in a way that still carries the same impact. Fly, you fools, you shall not pass. You know, things like that, like those power moments, still have to be there. That is my Gandalf.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, moment of truth. We're finally to Frodo.
Yes.
Again, I feel like I am choosing the obvious.
No.
Because I do have Harry in here as Frodo.
Oh.
Because I paired Harry with Neville.
Okay.
And I had them flipped before.
Yeah.
And now they're back to where I think Neville belongs. And Harry being the natural leader of Harry Potter, I feel like that's exactly what Frodo is. He is the main protagonist. He is the leader of these people, sort of, kind of. Between Frodo and Sam, he is the leader because Sam does what Frodo says until Frodo can't anymore.
Okay.
So in that way, that's why I have them that way.
Well, I have nothing so deep as that. I did not pair anyone, and but what I picked was purely on aesthetic.
Okay.
Again, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I also wanted someone. I wanted someone that we didn't have too much to go off from character-wise.
Okay.
So when you look at the person out of dental prosthetic, it's a different person almost. So I'm almost casting someone that's not even into Harry Potter films. Into Harry Potter films.
Oh no! Who is this?
You know who I'm talking about.
I think I do.
I cast Jamie Yates, a.k.a. Marcus Flint.
You did!
As Frodo. Now, Google right now.
I've seen this, yeah.
Jamie Yates, Yeates.
Oh, God.
Without dental prosthetic, he's like a different person.
Yeah. Oh,
That's my Frodo.
yeah. As soon as you started talking about that, I'm like, it's gotta be him. Oh my gosh. That's so random!
Right? I had so many other people in as Frodo, and then, like I told you earlier today, I'm just Googling all these people now to see what they look like. And, yeah, I was like, okay, whoa, we're putting this guy as Frodo. Holy
It's not
crap.
just the teeth, it's the haircut.
Yeah. Like different those of you listening, Google Jamie Yates. Yeates. That is my Frodo.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And that rounds off my young fellowship.
Yep, your young fellowship. Okay, I'll read off my fellowship, and then you read yours, okay? My fellowship is Harry Potter as Frodo, Minerva McGonagall as Aragorn, Lucius Malfoy as Boromir, Luna Lovegood as Merry, Neville Longbottom as Sam, Dumbledore as Gandalf, Ron Weasley as Gimli, Hermione Granger as Legolas, and Colin Creevey as Pippin.
My fellowship, to flip things a little bit, Jamie Yates is my Frodo, Tom Felton is my Aragorn, Freddie Strama is my Boromir, Sean Biggerstaff is my Merry, Rupert Grint is my Sam, Alan Rickman is Gandalf, Brendan Gleeson is Gimli, Robert Pattinson is Legolas, and Alfred Enoch is Pippin.
Man, oh man.
Right?
Totally different perspectives, totally different casts.
Different films completely.
Oh yeah, they would end up feeling so different. Let's look at some of these characters and see where they would fit. Let's look at the Fellowship. Let's look at the Fellowship and see where, if they were flipped into Harry Potter, if we had to swap roles with these people, where would they end up?
Oh, jeez.
So, for me, Frodo would be the main character, Harry Potter.
And for me, Frodo would be the grunchy, grouchy, rude, mean, and nasty captain of the Slytherin Quidditch team, Marcus Flint.
Aragorn would be Professor McGonagall.
Aragorn would be Draco Malfoy.
Boromir would turn into Lucius Malfoy.
For me, Boromir would be Cormac McLaggen.
Sean Bean is Cormac McLaggen. Oh, that's good. I like it.
Yes.
I said, Mary is Luna Lovegood for me.
Barry would be Oliver Wood.
Sam Gamgee would play Neville.
Sam Gamgee is Ron Weasley.
Gandalf would play Dumbledore.
Gandalf would play Severus Snape. I feel like that would go so well. They're both short-tempered.
Gimli, here's a good one. Gimli would play Ron Weasley.
Oh my.
Doing this homework? Small chance of victory.
What are we waiting for? Gimli would be Mad-Eye Moody.
Oh, see, that does work much better.
It does work.
Legolas would play Hermione Granger.
It's Lady Saul. Feel a slight tingle in my fingers. Hermione, what do your elf eyes see? Legolas would be Cedric Diggory for me.
Oh man. And Pippin would be Colin Creevey in my cast.
That fits so perfectly. Pippin is Dean Thomas for me.
Alright, that was a lot of fun. Alright, thank you all for joining us for episode 0 of Live at the Green Dragon.
There is definitely more to come, so please go to our website, greendragonlive.com, where you can find out all about this show.
You can also subscribe to our newsletter, where you'll get show notes and everything else.
Don't forget, follow us on Twitter at GreenDragonLive. Shoot us your questions and comments using the hashtag GDLive.
Thanks again for listening. I'm Nicholas Jon.
And I'm Nick Andrew.
Join us next time when we are live from the Green Dragon.
And remember, the road goes ever on and on.
And if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might get swept off to.
and welcome you to the Green Dragon. Epic music.
If only it was still cool to put like sounds into your website, then we could have that narration over the top.
Wait, when was it ever cool?
It wasn't cool. If only it had ever been cool to do that.